Okay, hey everybody, welcome, hello, welcome to. We keep calling this a podcast, but it's not really a podcast anymore, right? It's more of
Well,
like
no,
a YouTube
apparently you
channel.
can. Apparently you can call this a podcast or video podcast.
A, a,
Yeah, we did reach that conclusion at some
or a,
point that it's
or
perfectly
a
acceptable to
vlog.
call it video podcast.
Would it be a vlog? Do they call them video podcasts or do they call them vodcasts? I don't know. Did I just make that up? I don't know.
Um,
Anyway,
yeah.
well, welcome to the show, whatever you want to call it,
Mm.
and Magic Morning Wood. And here we talk about movies. Isn't that right, Clive?
That's right, Ron. We do.
Yes. And my name's Ron, and with me is
I'm Clive.
Clive, which I mentioned already. Yeah. So we have our algorithm machine on,
Yeah.
and
I actually
that's
had
the
to
noise
have
that the machine
someone
makes.
come in and fix it a week ago.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
was
He
leaking
keeps
oil.
farting, so he
Yeah,
keeps
but
farting.
it's
So
it's working now. Yeah.
okay, good. And yeah, we put in our movie, and then we react. We have find a loose reaction to our last movie to
Mm.
choose our new movies, and it goes on a chain like that. It's like a chain game.
Mm.
And our last movie that we're reacting to was Predestination, the sci-fi mystery thrillery time travel thing.
Mm.
And so it was my choice. So my first choice reaction was to stay with Ethan Hawke. Good old Ethan. Oh, as a bit of a side note before I talk about this movie, did I ever mention to you that I used to get told I look like Ethan Hawke?
Oh, really? Was that
Yeah,
blind person who lived near you?
not nowadays. I don't look like him now,
Okay.
but when I was in like in high school, I had like kind of like long hair, and I remember I went to a wedding, and there was a girl like around my age, and she was like, oh, I never told you you look like Ethan Hawke, and I guess I look like him, like Reality Bites kind of late '90s era, mid to late '90s era. So it was the kind of thing.
Okay.
I used to get told I kind of had a goatee, I kind of look like him a little bit. I don't look anything like him now, but apparently that was who I
Right.
used to get.
Okay.
Do you ever get that you look like a famous person?
Apparently, I definitely not now, but I used to look like one of the members. Apparently, very, very much looked like one of the members of Boyzone.
Boyzone, really?
I think it was Boyzone, or was it another one of those
Okay.
boy bands?
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
I can't
Now I'd
remember
say
which.
you kind of look like Bob Hoskins, I think now. So.
Ah, okay. What? Dead.
Like Bob Hoskins as Smee in Hook.
I'm just looking at a picture of Boyzone back in the day. And none of them jump out at me as me looking like one, but apparently, yes, I got told that quite a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Boyzone.
but that was
Mm.
a long time
I think
ago.
was that a British band?
I think Boyzone were, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I
were
don't
you
think
not familiar
Boyzone
with Boyzone?
never. No, Boyzone never really made it big over across the pond. I think so. I don't. I mean, I it sounds familiar, but I couldn't tell you any of the songs they
Yeah,
sang.
were they
So.
actually maybe? Oh, they're Irish, actually. In fact,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh well, fuck them then.
I don't
Fucking
know.
Irish.
Apologies to the island of Ireland.
Irish.
Yeah,
The whole island.
and Nick.
And Nick.
So
Yeah.
anyway, so
Anyway,
yes, so you went with Ethan
so I went with Ethan
Hawke.
Hawke. Stayed with
Yeah.
Ethan, and yeah, Mr. Hawke, and I decided to again use this podcast show, whatever you want to call it, as a way to kind of watch the movies that I've been meaning to get to, kind of crossing things off my list that I've been sort of meaning to get to for a while. And
Mm.
so I chose The Northman
Mm.
because I've forgotten that he was in it, and I've been meaning to see The Northman for quite a while, being a fan of Robert Eggers. So I we had talked the Vivitch
Hmm.
before. We did that one a few years ago.
I think it
So
was a
I've been
Halloween show, actually, maybe we did it for.
was no, are you sure? I thought we only did
I'm not sure of
series for
anything.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, that tracks. Anyway, but yeah, and so we talked about several about Robert Eggers in general, and we also what else has he done?
Lighthouse, and since he's done Nosferatu.
Lighthouse,
Yeah.
and this. Did you see Nosferatu?
Not yet. No, no. I
I
was
saw it. It
trying.
was quite good.
It Did
I
you
quite
like it?
enjoyed it actually. It was,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
I was
quite good.
trying to watch it in time for this because I wanted to maybe bring it up, but I haven't got around to it yet. But I'm definitely very keen on seeing it.
And you like The Lighthouse, right?
I did, yeah. Did you not like
Mm,
that, or did you
yeah.
not see it?
Yeah, I liked it.
Ah,
Not as much as the other ones, but remember we talked about with the Vivitch
mm.
that I didn't really like it the first time I watched it, but then I quite liked it the second time. So sometimes some of his movies might be rewatchers. So
Well,
I
interesting.
liked The Lighthouse okay, but it wasn't as good as I thought it would be.
Right.
But yeah, maybe
Interesting
I
you say
have to
that actually,
rewatch it. So
because I was kind of quite pleased you chose this in the end because um even though it's still I think probably the weakest of his films so far, I didn't get on with this at all the first time I saw it.
oh
Um
really?
and it's risen in my estimation. It's not quite the I thought this was Robert Eggers totally dropping the ball the first time I saw it, but this time there was
Mm,
some stuff of interest in. I mean, it still loses me at a certain point. And we'll talk about that, but it's there's some good stuff in here. There's some good stuff in here. It wasn't
mm,
quite as a disappointment as it was the first time I watched.
mm. So anyway, just to of course we're talking about the Northman, right? Then
Mm. Yeah, I
yeah.
keep
So
accidentally saying the Norseman. I keep confusing it with
uh
that Lee Majors film from the 70s where he played like a fucking
oh yeah, well
Viking or
they're very
something.
similar, right? So
Well, it's just
they're
that the
very similar.
Northman, and they are kind of similar stories actually.
Yeah, and it would be the same movie for Japanese people who can't pronounce th, right? So there'd be Norsemen. Right?
Yeah, maybe,
Yeah,
yeah, maybe they accidentally went to see
yeah,
a Lee Majors film
yeah.
from the 70s.
Um, yeah. So this is so The Northman from 2022, written and directed by Robert Eggers. Or no, only directed by Robert Eggers. Written by Robert Eggers, but
Xiong,
also Xiong,
Xiong.
whoever that is. Who's Xiong?
Who also made that
Um,
film? Did you ever see that film Lamb?
no.
Really interesting. Is it Icelandic? I think it was Icelandic
Yeah,
horror film
Icelandic.
came
Yeah.
out. Yeah, I think you might enjoy. It's
No
very,
me rapace.
very strange, very different. Not
Yeah.
what I don't think you've seen a film with that story before. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
All
you
right.
might
I'll put it
enjoy
on the
that.
list.
But yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's satisfyingly strange.
Yeah. So back to the Northman, starring Alexander Skarsgård, one of the Skarsgårds. I
Mm.
think one of the more popular ones. I think, and
He's
well,
the
I guess
good-looking
I guess Bill.
Skarsgård, isn't he?
He's the really good. He's got all the good one. He's got all the good genes. It's funny because I watched. Have you seen the Vikings TV show, the Vikings
No, I
series?
think I saw like an episode of it or something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I watched the whole thing. It was quite good, but his brother is in it. Well, one of the brothers is in it. I forget the anyway, that brother like looks terrible. Like he's like balding and he's got bad teeth and he's like the kind of the joker, the kind of like the he's the like the what do you call it? Like the religious guy, the shaman kind of figure, whatever, and he's just like this kind of old kind of and then he's also there's also so anyway him versus Alexander Skarsgård, who looks kind of a little bit like Thor, like he's very muscular and tall and blonde and whatever. So it's very similar. It's funny that they're
Which one's
related.
in
And then of
Vikings?
course there's
Is that Gustav?
Gustav. Yeah, Gustav. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. And then there's also Bill who played Pennywise in the new It's, right? And
Right.
and he's like the new big thing too, right? So
But then of
um
course there's the one who isn't one Peter Sarsgaard. He's not of that Sarsgaard clan, right? The one who's
uh,
married to
well, he's Sarsgaard. This is Skarsgård. I believe that's different,
yes,
isn't
yes,
it?
yes. But I think people sometimes think Peter Sarsgaard's a member of that family. Um but he's not.
But he's not. No.
No.
And he has but the dad is famous too, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Stellan
Stella.
Skarsgård,
Yeah.
right?
Stella's
Yeah. So
yeah, he's my favorite one, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
Stellan's good stuff. So
He's like
anyway, I
proper
quite like
good actor.
I quite like Alexander Skarsgård too. I've seen him in several other things. He was in the True Blood TV series and also in what was it called? Not Pretty Little Liars.
Dirty Little. That's the
Mm,
one with Nicole Kidman, right?
30. Yeah, yeah. Also Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, there's
What's it
like
called?
three or four
Dirty. Big
shows.
Big Little Lie. Big
Yeah,
Little Lies. Yeah,
there's
yeah,
like
yeah.
three
That
or
one too.
four of
He was
those
quite good in those.
shows with three names in the title, which I never
Yes.
know which is which.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's like the sharp knives or
Dirty
something
Pretty
like that.
Things or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Big Little Lies. I mean, he was in. That was quite. It was quite good. He was also Tarzan. In
oh
that
yeah.
in that.
I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
know someone
I
who
didn't.
looks
I didn't see that, but
exactly like him.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
In Japan?
yeah. Ukrainian guy.
Oh, really? Anyway, he's anyway, I quite like Alexander Skarsgård actually. I think he's a good
Still a bit on the fence about him, I have to say.
well, I mean, I've seen him in more things than you have, and I think that you
How do
think
you
a
know?
guy
Have
that
I
looks like
watched
that,
everything he's ever done?
I doubt it because it's too many episodic television. I know you don't like episodic
Oh, does he
television,
do a
so
lot of TV? Does he?
well, Big Little Lies and True Blood were both episodic
All
television,
right,
so
okay. I think I did
yeah,
see True
so
Blood, but I don't know if I saw it because that went on forever, right? So I don't know if I
7 seasons
saw
or something.
it
Yeah,
up until he, because he wasn't in it from the beginning, right? True Blood.
yeah, I think he was.
Was
Yeah, I
he? Oh, okay, maybe I do it
think
because
so.
I thought True Blood was
I
actually
think
quite
so. I
good
can't
when
remember
I saw it.
exactly.
I thought
Um,
he was quite. I thought that show was quite good, but of course I didn't
um,
finish it because I don't do that. But yeah,
yeah, that's how I know you didn't see his stuff, right? So, yeah, and Nicole Kidman is also in this, and as well as what's his name, Claes Bang,
mm,
and Ethan Hawke, of course, and your favorite Anya Taylor Joy.
yep.
Anya Taylor Joy's in it. Willem
Bjork.
Dafoe has a Bjork's in it. Yeah, Willem Dafoe has a bit there, which is he's unrecognizable, but he's there.
He's having a
Um,
lot of fun, isn't he? Is all
he's
Willem.
having fun with his part. Yes, he does. Yeah, as he does. Yeah, and yeah. So, and anyway, so this is Viking story, and it's essentially Hamlet. I don't
Well,
think. Did you pick up on that?
it's the story that Hamlet is based on as well, isn't it?
Ah,
It's
sure. Yeah, I mean, and but as I was watching this, I was like, this is basically just Hamlet. And I was
yeah,
watching, I was like, and I was thinking about, wait a second. Hamlet is the Prince of Denmark, and I mean, it would have been pre-Shakespeare. So
yeah.
was Hamlet a Viking? That made me think. I was like, wait a second. I never really thought about that. Was Hamlet supposed to be a Viking?
Uh, I don't.
Because
Yeah,
they
I
would have been
suppose.
around that time, and the
Yeah,
Danish were Vikings, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I suppose. I
Because I've
don't
never
know
even thought
actually.
about that before. Because you always see all these like Hamlets, and they're always in like Shakespearean, the 15th century clothes.
Yeah.
But I was like, wait a second, if he was pre-Shakespeare, he would have been a Viking, wouldn't he have been? So yeah, I don't
Yeah, so
know. So
it's
um,
Gesta Danorum, right, by Saxo Grammaticus. It's like a 12th century
right.
like chronicle of medieval Denmark. And it
Mm,
very much is the template for Shakespeare's Hamlet, right? So that's why it
right. Yeah.
rung a bell.
Ring a bell. I was like, yeah. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. So anyway, so he's yeah. So I mean, if you know the story of Hamlet, you basically know this story. So which I didn't realize this was that a retelling of that story. I thought it was something completely different. So um, yeah. So Alexander Skarsgård plays Amleth, and he's he's the son of a Viking king, I guess, a
yeah.
Viking lord.
The way they
I
pull this
guess he's
off
a
is that everyone talks English in little bit funny accents all the way through,
but Alexander
which is
Skarsgård is
fine.
actually Swedish. So he's actually Swedish. So I feel like he was using his real accent possibly because he speaks pretty good English now, like without an accent. But I
Mm,
assume he's probably just using his real accent,
maybe.
probably. So
But everyone does
yeah,
that, right? Everyone does that,
yeah. And then
basically.
they followed him maybe. So
Yeah, which is fine. It's not a
so
problem.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just,
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
something kind of slightly amusing about this
But
guy.
also the brother Claes Bang, he's also where is he from? He's actually Danish, right? Um, so maybe they all have real like Scandinavian accents, and then they all just modeled after them. So,
Hmm,
yeah. So anyway, Amleth is the young son of a Viking lord played by Ethan Hawke, who plays the king. And his queen is Nicole Kidman, and and the king's brother Fjolnir shows up and then decides to off his brother and take his queen for his wife, and tries to kill the son, but the son escapes
Yeah.
and lives a life abroad for a long time
Yeah.
as
Well, he
a
becomes
and
he
then kind
becomes
of
like a berserker as well, doesn't he? Basically,
berserker. Yeah, yeah,
he becomes this like
like a
almost
mercenary kind of
feral.
thing.
Like there's this
Mm,
long one take shot of them taking a village, which is kind of interesting.
mm.
And and he
Yeah,
kind of forgets his way, right? He forgets his way that he's
right. Yeah.
supposed to be going back to reclaim his birthright until
Mm.
Bjork turns up and reminds him, and then he has to go and
Yeah.
get a special sword from somewhere as well,
Mm.
right? And then so he uses it. So
Yeah.
there's all that, and he teams up with Anya Taylor-Joy as a bit of a romantic thing, and then yeah, and there's all that.
And they go
Um,
back, and then he pretends to sort of he inserts himself as a slave in his uncle and brother's house who don't recognize him because they
mm,
haven't seen him since he was a kid, and then he kind of pretends to hunt. He kind of like starts killing in like the guards
yeah,
and stuff like secretly and doing like kind of ritualistic kind of displays, and they think that they've got like a ghost or some sort of
yeah,
like a
and
supernatural being in
Anya
front of them.
Taylor-Joy
And
poisons them
then
with mushrooms and things, and it's
yeah,
a
so with
whole
that,
very
yeah, and
elaborate,
yeah.
kind of oddly elaborate plan, kind of considering in the end he just gets a sword and you know
And kills them
gets
all.
his
Yeah,
head off. It's like
yeah, yeah. I don't know why he
and
didn't do
the
that just from the
gates of
beginning.
hell as well, isn't it? They go to the
Yeah,
gates
yeah.
of hell,
And he
which
and he
looks,
and he rides.
I don't know where they shot. I'm assuming it's a lot of it is computer generated, but that gates of hell sequence does look fucking hot. Like,
Yeah. Where was it? It was
well, a lot of it was shot.
filmed in Iceland and
Yeah,
Ireland.
yeah, mostly Ireland, I
Yeah.
think actually, mostly Ireland.
Mm.
Um,
Northern Ireland. So
mm. But
yeah. So
yeah, so
so yeah. So
mm,
and then yeah, he gets revenge, and then he tries to save his mother, and turns out his mother was in
in on
on
it
the
all
plot the
along.
whole time,
Yeah,
and so then he decides to kill his mom too, and then
yeah,
just like the end of Hamlet, everyone dies. The end,
right,
pretty much. Yeah. So
right.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Um,
yeah, it's interesting though. I don't see it as like you never see, e- even though it's not hiding its dramatic roots. You very rarely actually hear people refer to this film as a version of Hamlet, right? It's not like no
yeah,
one
yeah. Well,
says like,
I had no idea, and I was watching. I was like, why didn't I know
but it's
this
weird
was
that
the same as Hamlet? Because
it's not
it's
promoted in that way
yeah,
at
it's not even
all.
promoted. It's
Anyway,
not
I've
even
never heard.
and none of the reviews or like even
Right.
like critical reviews or even like I heard no references to being this. And I was like, this is Hamlet. I was like, so
Yeah.
I was really shocked myself. I was like, why has no one mentioned this? So anyway,
I don't
it's
know.
but I mean, I
I don't
actually
know. Are
didn't know that
younger
it was based on the original story. So
are some younger
yeah,
people maybe not fed so much Shakespeare as they used to be? I don't know.
maybe or yeah. So but anyway, yeah. So that notwithstanding, so you said you got on better
Well,
this time
yeah,
with
but
it.
it's still the same basic problem I had with it as the first time though, which is I really the first 40 minutes is very interesting, I think. And I
Mhm.
found that more interesting this like the first 40 minutes, the setup, and it's beautifully shot and the whole thing of going to the William Dafoe character and like the first kind of
Mm.
act of it, I suppose, is really interesting. When it starts to lose me is when he returns and then when he gets it on with Anya Taylor-Joy, and then it turns into like it just really, 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 really slows down for a while.
Mm.
Like before that,
Right.
it's really propulsive and everything's going on as a good, and then it just kind of stops dead. And it also becomes, I think my main problem is Robert Eggers does weird with like a Y, right? He does weird well. He's not, you're not, he's not cut out for like m making an episode of ER or something like that, right? Like it's like no point.
Mm.
Like
Right. Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah. He's not that kind of director.
and so then when the film becomes more of a conventional kind of adventure story, then
Hmm.
it's like, oh, this is fucking, oh, this is dragging on a bit boring. But it's front loaded. There's a lot of weird stuff. There's a lot of, so when it's more violent, when it's more dark, when it's more twisted, when it's more, I think that stuff's really good because Robert Eggers knows how to do that. But then when it
Hmm.
becomes settles into more of a somewhat conventional costume drama historical adventure, I I lose interest in it because I don't think Robert Eggers really excels at then. And then it gets a little bit weird again at the end, but it's kind of lost the momentum, right? But certainly I think the first 40 minutes is really good. And then it kind of drops the ball for me. How did you get on with it? Does that match
Uh,
your experience or
Not really, no. Because I don't really I don't really equate Robert Eggers with exciting adventure because like if you look at like the Vivitch, there's
Hmm.
like no real exciting adventure. It's
Well, no, that's what
all
I mean. So
atmosphere.
he
It's
does that
all
stuff good. So
yeah.
when it becomes more of a adventure conventional,
Mm,
that's exactly what
mm,
I mean.
mm.
He it's not his thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, but I never found it particularly conventional at any point. I think even with the straight up kind of costume drama stuff, there was elements of weirdness to it, but also like an element just like the atmosphere, right? Which I thought
Hmm.
was I think he does very, very well, which is that he really, really gets like that sort of like you know Icelandic, Scandinavian, British countryside, sort of like country loneliness,
Hmm.
kind of like like it just that you're feeling that you're there, that kind of like
It's
weird
quite
out in the
authentic, I would
country.
say.
And
Yeah.
I think he does that very, very well, and I think it's I think this was like a really good vehicle for him to explore those things, right? So, and
Hmm.
I think, yeah, I know, I was never bored. I don't find, even though it was quite a long movie, I found it was quite immersive the whole time.
Okay.
And even though I once I figured out it was Hamlet, I kind of knew what was going to happen. But
Right.
it was I don't know. I think I think first of all, if ever there was a role written for an actor, it's this role was written for Alexander Skarsgård. I mean, like he's like I think he was like it was almost like Robert Eggers saw him and said, "I'm going to write a Viking for this guy," right? So I mean, like,
Well,
yeah, I don't know. I think
apparently
he's
the
yeah.
project was a bit of a they both kind of brought it to each other, apparently. Like apparently
Yeah,
Skarsgård had as much to do with its inception as Robert Eggers did.
I can see that. I can see that happening, right?
Right,
Yeah, because
right.
it seems like it was almost like if I looked like Alexander Skarsgård, I'd want to play a big
Well, you don't.
tough
You look like Ethan
Viking too,
Hawke,
right?
apparently.
Yeah, I don't. I look like Ethan Hawke's younger but fatter brother. So, but uh, but yeah, I think he like was that character, and I think he was. I thought like, but as I think I mentioned on the other podcast, I was like, I thought um, both Ethan Hawke and Nicole Kidman were kind of interesting choices for this movie, though, because they definitely were kind of playing against type. I think a little bit. Um,
Hmm.
I think certainly, as you say, Ethan Hawke tends to be his kind of earnest, "Hey
Hmm.
guys," kind of stuff.
Right.
Whereas he's not in this at all. I
No,
think he's. I
which
was
I
like, even
appreciated.
and when I heard, I was like, "Oh, he's the king." I was like, "Really? That's an interesting casting. You wouldn't really expect that." So I think that's another thing that Robert Eggers does well is he sort of
Casting, yeah.
surprises you with his casting. He does like for obvious casting, Alexander Skarsgård is the big tough Viking, but also this sort of kind of against type, casting with Ethan Hawke as the king, right? So
Right.
as the Viking king. So,
I haven't seen it.
yeah. So I think
How was Skarsgård's Tarzan? Because I do quite like a good
I
Tarzan.
didn't see Tarzan either. So I
Ah,
didn't see Tarzan either. So
and Margot
yeah. So
Robbie is Jane, right? I think, if I remember
oh,
right.
is he okay? Maybe
Because
I'll
I
watch
know
that. So
someone who's in it, oddly enough.
oh, really? I think you
Yeah,
mentioned that. Yeah. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah. But anyway, I thought and I think it was I it's kind of a weird connection to make, but I equate Robert Eggers a lot with Denis Villeneuve in
Denis
terms of their
Villeneuve.
filmmaking.
Hmm.
Denis Villeneuve, because
Just say it
I don't
in
know
a normal
they
voice. It works. Just say Denis Villeneuve.
Denis
You don't have to say Denis
Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
No, it's French. He's French Canadian. I have to say it in the French Canadian accent. Ouais, Denis Villeneuve. Right. So, anyway, but I equate the two of them because I think even though they're very different filmmakers, um, they both, first of all, their movies are very dark, not dark in tone, but like they're also just like it's always cloudy in their movies, right? It's always like there's always like this kind of gray filter over everything. So the movies kind of looked similar in terms of like filter, like in terms of color
Hmm.
scheme, but at the same time they're always beautiful movies. They're all like their cinematography in all the movies are really really well
Yeah,
done.
we should
And I think
call out Jarin Blashk. I'm probably saying that totally wrong, but he's the cinematographer
yeah.
here.
So yeah, it's just a beautiful movie, despite the fact that it's sort of like everything's gray all the time.
Yeah.
But it's
The
still
the
really
Gates of
amazing to watch, really
Hell,
good.
the Gates of Hell sequence is a bit shonky looking, I thought. Like
Mm, mm,
it's like I don't know, it's like that's the only bit it seems like I don't expect it to look realistic, but like you said, everything else in the film kind of looks like like beautiful, even if it's something grotesque, it's shot in a beautiful way. And
mm.
then that Gates of Hell ending is a bit like you're suddenly in a PlayStation game or something. Do you know what I mean? It's like
I
it's a bit
didn't
it's
recall.
a
It didn't
bit
stand out to me.
off. I don't know if they didn't have enough
Mm.
time on it or something, but it's yeah, it doesn't feel quite of a piece with the rest of the film. Again, though, I think that might be Robert Eggers's strong suit is not only doing weird stuff, but it's also doing practical stuff, right? Like actually
Mm.
building a
Not
lighthouse
CGI.
for the lighthouse
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Right, yeah.
I'm not sure if he has the sensibilities for more modern use of like CGI
CGI.
and stuff like that because
Yeah, right,
he's
yeah.
clearly an old soul in some way, right? Like he's into
Mm. I'd love to see him do a Marvel movie though. It'd be fun.
yeah, but I don't think it would be. That's the thing because I don't think it's his strong suit, right? So it would just be
Well, I think
oh,
I think it would
like
be interesting to see what he would do with a
if
movie
he
like
would
that
be
though, right? So,
allowed to
yeah.
actually, but I doubt he'd have an interest.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
But
I
no,
don't think he would want to, but
no,
yeah, so
no. Like do a Thor or something, but like
mm.
Thor closer to this kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
world.
like this is like his Thor like this would be really fun to watch, I
Mm.
think so. But yeah, anyway, I think I really enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was quite
Oh,
good. I'm
really?
glad
Okay.
I finally got to see it. So I really got along well with it. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was engaging, or really it all the elements worked for me. So I you know I'm it was I put it above the lighthouse for myself, but
Okay, so your
yeah. I
Eggers
also but
ranking goes.
I think also I get on more with sort of like these kind of like metal epics, like it's sort of it's also similar to like in some ways like the movie 300,
Hmm,
which is like the like the overdone violence and like the
right.
like metal music in the background
Yeah.
kind of thing, right? I like that kind of stuff, which
Well,
I
I
think you get
enjoyed that
on
when I
very
saw it
well
in the
with.
theater. I remember me and my wife
Yeah,
both
yeah.
came out of 300 wanting to get into a fight. Because
I
it,
give it a
you
three
know,
and say like that was the greatest movie
pumped us
ever,
up.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it pumped
yeah,
us
yeah.
up, you know.
I
Yeah.
kind of I had elements of that movie with this one, I
Okay.
think, a little bit too. So
So
yeah.
what's your Eggers ranking then? The four films.
What was the fourth one?
So it's Witch, Lighthouse, Nosferatu, Northman.
Oh, Nosferatu. Oh, right. I'd put this one. I'd put
What's your favorite?
I don't know. I'd have to watch again. Same with Vivitch. I had to watch it twice. I
Hmm.
think the other ones I have to watch again. I've only watched everything else only once, so I think I
Okay.
need to watch everyone twice to really give it. So I don't feel qualified to give it. But I got on with this quite well. So I think
Okay.
I haven't disliked any of them. I'd say for me, The Lighthouse is the lowest right now, but I think again it needs a new one, a new watch. Maybe
Okay.
I do. Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let us move on then because we got to
Yeah.
get out of here pretty soon.
Yeah.
My choice. And I went with yes, more kind of um time loopy trying to fix
Mm,
so this is Los Cronocrímenes or Time Crimes. This is a
mm,
2007 a Spanish film which I had not seen before. Had you seen it before?
no.
I hadn't seen it before, but it has a very, very good reputation, and it's a film I kind of wanted to see for a while. So, yeah,
Mm,
like you did with Northman, I used this pod as an excuse to finally
mm,
catch up with it. Directed written by Nacho Vigilando, who's also in it, and kind of seems to be somewhat inspired by
It
another
must
Robert.
be. I think it's my Vigilando.
It's a joke.
It's my Vigilando because it's not Joe Vigilando.
Ah, right. Good.
Come on, come on.
Jesus Christ. So coincidentally, not officially, but this does seem to be somewhat inspired by another Robert Heinlein short story, right?
Right.
By his Bootstraps from 94. I sent you a link. I don't know if you had the time to read it.
I didn't. This one, no.
Okay, but it's
Did you
definitely
send me a
got
link? I didn't see the link. So.
definitely got elements in it. Although he claims he was mostly inspired by a Future Shock strip in 2000 AD comic by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons, which I also sent you a link to. I don't know if you saw that.
Okay.
It's quite a nice, very short little one-off comic strip. But I didn't really see much of a connection to this, but other than it being, generally time loopy stuff, And we talked before when we were talking Predestination that sometimes this stuff is it can be problematic once you start poking about in time travel. Then there are always going to be, it's never quite going to match up, right?
Right. Yeah.
But I quite liked what this film did with it. Apparently this would be called a temporal paradox or a casual loop is the correct terminology.
Casual or causal?
I
think it's a causal loop.
Is it? I read it as casual loop.
I think
but that
so.
kind of works
too,
so.
Right?
Because it's a temporal paradox. It's a casual loop. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've got so our main guy is Para Elejalde. And him and his wife, Candela Fernandez, they've just moved into a new house, kind of surrounded by woods and stuff like that. So they're just slowly pottering about and moving in. And he's got his binoculars and he's looking out into the woods, just kind of seeing if there's anything interesting to see. And there is something interesting to see. There's a fantastic rack. This is Barbara Goenaga, who I didn't know before, but yeah, he spots this this topless woman out in the woods. It first seems to be topless and then maybe naked. And so when his wife leaves to go and do something, he of course goes and has a look about to see if he can find who these fantastic tits belong to. And he does find the girl, kind of seemingly, is she dead? She's not. Oh no, she's not dead, but she's naked and she seems to be passed out. And while he's kind of, I mean, I don't know what his motives are. I don't think he really knows. He's just kind of been led temporarily astray by a nice pair of tits, right? And then someone attacks him. And an unseen person attacks him, and it's someone we eventually see then has a head covered in bloody bandages.
Pink bandages.
Say again?
Pink bandages.
Yeah, whether it's blood, isn't it? It's,
but well, yeah, we find out later, but at first it's just pink bandages.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Find out later that it's just, yeah.
And he kind of, I guess he flees, he doesn't know the area, so he kind of loses track of where his own house is, and he ends up going to another house. He smashes a window, he goes into into some sort of place, he's not sure what it was, picks up a walkie-talkie, and it turns out that there's someone in another building on this piece of land. There's like another kind of building that turns out to be a laboratory, and there's a bit of back and forth, like, who are you, what are you doing on this frequency, blah 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 blah. And then the other guy from his position can see the pink bandage. Oh, he's coming to get you, right? You got to get out the house. And so he eventually manages to escape into this other building where the other guy, as played by the director, per your hilarious nacho joke, is. And it turns out it's a laboratory, and there's a sort of pool which works as a time machine. So this is our setup. Is yeah, man goes on a tit hunt, ends up being stalked by someone, and then seeks refuge in what turns out to be a time traveling laboratory, right? So, so the rest of the film, I mean, I know we do spoilers on here in general, but I kind of feel as if, well, I don't know, spoiler alert just in case, but I'm wondering if it's possible to kind of talk about this film in an abstract way without saying exactly what happens, right? Other than
Well, you've already said that it's a causal/casual loop.
it's a
So if
casual
anyone knows
loop,
what that
yeah.
means, then you'll know what that means, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So no, what I mean is I'm not to avoid it necessarily, but I'm just anyway, if you want to watch this film cold, you should do that and not watch this and come back and listen to us later, right? But that's as far as I'll go. Just in terms, I'm not going to spell out exactly what, unless it kind of, if it comes up naturally that we can't avoid talking about it, then we will, right? But so I'll just go straight to my opinion of this film, which is yes, I did like this film quite a bit, I have to say. It was quite a neat. Again, you're always going to fall into the paradox hole, right? But as films that do feature that kind of paradox go, I thought this was quite a neat, like kind of like out again, like without thinking about it too hard. You can kind of it's not hard to take, like it's not hard to swallow. You can accept it for what it is, and it's a well done little twisty turny thriller, with kind of quite a funny. After a while, I kind of figured out, oh, this is also not taking itself too seriously, and it does have a kind of sense of humor about it.
Right, right. Yeah.
And it's well acted, and it looks nice, and it's fun, and it's got some top nudity in it. So, it was entertaining, really, I thought. What do you think, Ron, of Time Crimes?
Oh, did you finish?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah,
could be
I think I
you know.
yeah. I think I got on similar to you. Yeah, I mean, I actually have a lot of forgiveness for these types of movies where I don't really care too much about the if it doesn't really make sense in the time paradox and the well if you think really hard about this, it doesn't make sense.
No,
I don't really care about that stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. But the film has to make you not care about it, I think, is
Yes.
that's the trick,
Yes.
right?
I
And I
think
think
that's
this
yeah,
film
that is
did.
the trick.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it does. Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So I'm sure if you did think about it, it wouldn't make sense. But it doesn't really matter. And it's just a fun little thriller. And I like kind of plot twists. And it did it had some twists that you saw coming and some that you didn't see coming. So I thought that was
Yes.
I thought that made it really good because I love a good plot twist. And I was like, oh well. And a couple of the ones that are earlier on you're kind of like, oh well, I mean, like that was obvious. Saw that coming, and it was kind of like, oh, is that all the movie's going to be? But then when it got closer to the end, you're like, oh, I didn't
Yeah,
see
there's
that
a little
coming. Oh,
sucker
so
punch, isn't
so
there? Yeah,
little
yeah.
sucker punches because I was like, oh, okay, then it sort of like redeemed a little bit for me. So I
Yes,
was a little bit kind of sometimes I was not always bought in, but then by the end I was
yeah.
like, okay, yeah, I got it.
What,
So nice.
yeah, one of the
Yeah,
twists is it's just close to the line, right? You
yeah,
just about suspend disbelief enough because at that point you're enjoying the film anyway. But it's
sure.
just on the edge of not being quite
Yeah, yeah.
uh
Right.
believable, right?
Believable,
But
yeah.
you go with
But
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you go with it and it kind of redeems it in general because some of them were it almost you'll forget about the ones that are really predictable because that one you didn't see coming, right? So
Mm, mm.
so yeah, so I thought the lead was kind of properly kind of sloppy, but you're not really he's kind of an anti-hero that you don't really root for him, but at the same time you kind of do,
Yeah.
and it's gonna yeah, it's
I
so
like
he's
a film with a
yeah
good schlub. in
Like
the lead
schlub,
role
yeah,
that you
yeah,
can relate to,
yeah,
because
sure,
it's sometimes a bit boring always looking at really good-looking people doing good things. But
sure, yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I thought yeah, it was really engaging, and made you want to know what's going to happen next and follow through. So yeah, so it was good fun and really good reaction to Predestination. Not only is it a causal loop, and it's very similar in terms of storylines and time travel, but also both Robert Heinlein, right? So
Hmm.
so yeah, very so made me think more about Robert Heinlein, and maybe Robert Heinlein writes his stories very too similarly. Maybe he
Yeah,
repeated himself
yeah.
a little bit with these two stories, I think, because they're almost very, very similar storylines. So, in a lot of
I'm
ways. So,
also guessing
um,
two new Barbara Goenaga fans in the world.
yeah, well, yeah, I guess, yeah. So, not as much as you, I think, same, yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, but yeah, nice. It was good fun. I enjoyed it. It was, yeah, it was well made, and yeah, and it was kept you going till the end. So yeah, no complaints. So
I was
mhm.
kind of surprised as well, researching it, that it's the same director who later made. Did you ever see Open Windows, which is a terrible film with Elijah Wood and Sasha Grey, and it all,
Mm.
like, it's one of those first films that pretty much all takes place on a computer screen.
Oh, okay,
It was one of the first thrillers that did that, but
okay.
it's fucking terrible. Like, it's really bad. I was quite surprised that it was the same director as this. He also did you see Colossal, which
No.
was the film with what's her name? What's the chick from Devil Wears Prada? Not Meryl Streep, the other one, the younger one, Anne Hathaway.
Oh, Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it was a film, Colossal, with Anne Hathaway, and if I remember correctly, she plays a character whenever she gets like in a really bad mood or something's bothering her, then a monster suddenly appears in Seoul, like a
Uh,
Godzilla type monster, and like stomps on the city and stuff. And
uh,
it's kind of quite an interesting film. Doesn't totally
mm,
work, but the same director
no.
as this, who also
Okay.
then he's made a film called Danielle Forever recently, which seems to be him returning to the time travel, time loop
Oh, okay.
kind of. So I'm kind of quite curious to see that, but apparently it's a bit more of a that's more of a kind of a romantic kind of
Mm. Maybe
drama.
that could be your reaction to this movie. Is reacting to this movie.
Um, it won't, no, because I've already chosen my reaction to this. If you remember, I
Okay.
had to make sure if you could handle it, um, and you can. So that's good. So
Uh,
we just await your
I don't think
reaction.
you can handle this. I don't think you can handle
I
this.
don't know what you're doing now, but stop
I
it.
was thinking, I don't think you ever.
I
Right.
still don't know what to do.
I
What
was
is
thinking
that?
Bootylicious. Bootylicious. It's a
Is that a
old
popular song?
R&B pop song. Yeah.
Who sings that then? Apart from you just now.
I think it was isn't it what's your face?
Is it Ethan
Beyonce, I think.
Hawke?
Yeah, Ethan Hawke. Yeah, I
All
think.
right, okay, yeah, yeah, I know,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, that's enough of our bootylicious show for this time.
Mm.
And that is what you said, wasn't it? Bootylicious, I believe.
Yes,
Yes.
bootylicious. That's
New
right.
new
Yes,
word to add to my
your
arsenal.
vocabulary.
I'll be using that a lot from
There you
now
go.
on because I am bootylicious.
You
Um,
are absolutely.
and next time, yeah, we'll be reacting to time crimes. So
Okay.
until then, cheerio.
Ta ta. Bye bye.